Assist King is a phrase that has been given to the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Thomas Müller, Lionel Messi, but none of those did it as prime Mesut Ozil did. Mesut Ozil, the magician, the man who registered 222 assists in 645 games. Ozil was about to be the greatest playmaker of all time. Then he just fell off. Where did it go wrong for Mesut Ozil? To answer this common question, we will first investigate how he rose up in the first place to gain the special Assist King title. Being born in Germany to Turkish parents, Ozil started his career at his local club, Schalke 04's youth development team. After impressing the coaches at just 17 years old, they concluded Ozil was already prepared to take on senior football. The Schalke team were missing their star player, Lincoln, due to a suspension, and there were whispers in the crowd about who will take his place. All of a sudden, a young midfielder strides onto the pitch wearing the number 17 jersey. That midfielder was Mesut Ozil. On his debut, he didn't disappoint. With his silky skills, lightning fast footwork and impeccable vision, the word of this unique German Wonderkid spreads around. Fans and pundits alike start to dub him the next big thing in German football. But success isn't always straightforward, and the first part of Ozil's rise to fame is blocked by a bitter dispute with Schalke management. Despite being their star player, Ozil rejects a contract offer of 1.5 million euros a year, claiming it's not enough. The tension between him and the club does not resolve, and he's forced to move on to Werder Bremen in January 2008. Mesut Ozil played a fantastic debut for Werder Bremen, swiftly becoming a key player and helping the team secure an impressive second place finish, while winning the domestic DFB Pokal final along the way. In the 2008-09 season, he provided an impressive 15 assists and significantly helped the team reach the UEFA Cup final. In the 2009-10 season, he nailed his place as the best playmaker in Germany due to his 17 assists and helping Werder Bremen finish at third in the Bundesliga. The next chapter in Ozil's career would become one of the most talked about transfers in football history, but I'll come back to that later. The end of that 9-10 season of course meant the World Cup arrived. After being experimented in friendly matches, Ozil was called up for Germany in the 2010 FIFA World Cup in South Africa. Starting in all matches, Ozil was instrumental in the German victories. In their first group game against Australia, he provided a brilliant assist for Kaká's goal, which helped Germany secure a 4-0 victory. In the final group game against Ghana, Ozil scored an amazing left-footed half volley from the edge of the penalty area, which resulted in Germany winning their group. But that was just the beginning of Ozil's World Cup heroism. In the round of 16 match versus rivals England, Ozil played a crucial role in Germany's 4-1 victory, setting up the fourth with a cross to Thomas Müller, and in the quarter-final against Argentina, he put it on a plate for Miroslav Klose's goal, helping Germany grab a 4-0 win. FIFA even recognised his amazing performance by nominating him as one of the 10 World Cup players for the prestigious Golden Ball Award. This was the final straw for Real Madrid, the club who had been scouting and watching Ozil throughout the previous season, and they submitted a €20 million bid, which was accepted for the German star. Ozil quickly made his mark at Los Blancos. In his first few games as a starter at the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium, he walked off the pitch to standing ovations. His first La Liga goal was against Deportivo de La Coruña, followed by his first Champions League goal against Milan. He finished the season with an unreal 25 assists, the most of any player in any major European league that season. Ozil was technically competing with Brazilian legend Kaká. This put a lot of pressure and competition on young Ozil's shoulders. Despite facing that intense pressure to perform at the highest level, he nailed himself to now be the club's main playmaker, surpassing even the likes of Kaká. His performance in the Supercopa de España was a turning point in his career, where he scored his first ever goal against Barcelona. However, his success at Madrid was short-lived, and his peak Then downfall began in the 2012-13 season with the arrival of Luka Modric, adding even more competition to Özil's role. Despite proving his worth on the pitch with exceptional assists and a stunning free kick goal, Real Madrid suffered a catastrophic collapse that season, finishing without any silverware, with rumours of a feud between coach Jose Mourinho and club captain Iker Casillas. It was clear that a change was needed. Carlo Ancelotti was brought in to pick up the pieces, but his preferred system did not favour Özil's primary strengths as a natural number 10. The signing of Isco further threatened Özil's place in the team, and with the Gareth Bale transfer saga in full swing, Ancelotti had plenty of options to choose from. Real Madrid's president, Florentino Perez, refused to provide a pay rise to Özil, and instead decided to sell him in order to balance the books when he signed Bale. This was a heartbreaking moment for many Madrid fans who made their feelings clear during Bale's unveiling by chanting, "Don't sell Özil." Despite the setback, Özil found a new place to showcase his incredible talent and skill at Arsenal. Mesut Ozil signed for the Gunners in September 2013 for a large fee, which named him the most expensive German player of all time at a wealthy £42.5 million. His contract duration was undisclosed but later revealed to be a 5-year deal with a broken down fee of £37.4 million subject to UCL qualification. Despite the high fee, Özil claimed that he was not motivated by money and felt undervalued at his previous club. He also highlighted his admiration for the Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger, feeling he needed his trust and the team's encouragement to perform at his prime level. The transfer, however, was met with mixed reactions from the fans and players. Some Arsenal fans hailed the move as a sign of ambition and a statement of intent, while some Real Madrid players were reportedly dissatisfied with Özil's departure from the club. In particular, Cristiano Ronaldo was furious with Özil's move away and publicly expressed his outrage, saying, "He was the player who best knew my moves in front of goal. I'm angry about Özil leaving." Regardless, Özil went on to make a big impact at Arsenal, becoming a fan favourite with his creativity, eye for goal, killer crosses and exceptional assistance. I'm sure you won't be surprised if I tell you that in 2013-14, Özil's debut season, Arsenal put an end to their trophy drought. He scored his first Arsenal goal in a UCL match against Napoli and provided 2 assists in his home debut against Stoke City. And let's not forget his first 2 Premier League goals against Norwich City. But as with any player, he faced some setbacks, like when his spot kick was saved by Manuel Neuer during a Champions League match against Bayern Munich, but he didn't let that get him down, and he ended up scoring his first goal of 2014 in a victorious FA Cup quarter-final against Everton. In the 2014 summer months, during the FIFA World Cup in Brazil, he took on a new role as a left winger due to an injury to Marco Reus, starting all 7 games and helping Germany become the first European team to win the World Cup in South America. Özil scored the winner in the round of 16 and gave an assist in the semis. In the final, he played 120 minutes before being replaced and Germany won 1-0. Özil led in passes completed in the final third, ranked second in possessions won in the final third, and was joint second in chances created behind Lionel Messi. The following season, Özil continued to dominate, becoming the first to provide assists in 6 consecutive games and ending his season as the Premier League's assist leader with 19. He even won the Arsenal Player of the Season award with 8 goals and 20 assists in all competitions. Özil quickly became a fan favourite for his silky skills and ability to open defences. He was a key member of the Arsenal team that won the 2014, 2015 and 2017 FA Cups. But almost instantly, his form began to plummet, and he became a controversial figure among Arsenal fans. More on that shortly. One of the leading factors towards Özil's decline was his lack of commitment and unusual laziness. Critics often pointed out his tendency to drift out of games and his unwillingness to track back and defend. This was evident during his time at Arsenal, where he was frequently dropped by his new gaffer, Unai Emery, because of this poor work rate. Even after Emery's departure, Özil struggled to regain his place in the team under Mikel Arteta, who was looking for more energy and tempo from his players. Another significant factor that contributed to Özil's fall was his age. He was no longer the sprightly young youngster he once was, and his physical decline was beginning to show. His lack of pace and strength made him vulnerable to opposition players who were often able to outmuscle him and shut down his creative abilities. Lastly, off-field issues also played a part in Özil's decline. In 2018, the year Germany were embarrassed by a group stage World Cup exit in Russia, he caused controversy by meeting and being photographed alongside Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. This led to criticism from fans and politicians in Germany, who accused Özil of supporting Erdogan's authoritarian regime. The incident seemed to affect Özil's confidence, and he struggled to perform at his best in the months that followed. He was also embroiled in a row with Arsenal over his refusal to take a pay cut during the pandemic. Consequently, he was not selected for the matchday squads and the Europa League group stage matches of Arsenal in the first matches of the 2020-21 season. It was then confirmed that he was also not registered in Arsenal's 25-man Premier League squad, which meant that he could only play for the under-23s. It was reported that because of the way Özil had been treated, he fell out with Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta, and as a result, it was best that Arsenal and Mesut Ozil went their separate ways. In January 2021, his move to the Turkish side, Fenerbahce, was announced. He signed a 3.5-year deal worth around £4.5 million or €5 million a season, as well as a signing on fee of €3 million. Özil missed 8 games due to an ankle injury and contracting COVID in his first season, but recorded his first assist for the club on the 11th of May 2021. In his second season, Özil was assigned the number 10 jersey, his recognisable number, and scored his first goal for the club in a 1-0 away victory against Adana Demirspor. On the 24th of March 2022, Fenerbahce announced that he and his teammate Ozan Tufan were excluded from the squad. Özil ended his second season at Fenerbahce with 9 goals, 2 assists in 26 all-comp games. On the 13th of July 2022, his contract with Fenerbahce was mutually terminated after Özil and his manager Ismail Kartal argued over the player's fitness. At this stage, Özil was considering retirement. Unfortunately, he could not relight the fire he had going and was just now playing football for the sake of it. Fortunately, he didn't give up and decided to have one last dance. On July the 14th, 2022, Özil signed a 1-year contract with Istanbul Başakşehir. Fans were eagerly anticipating his debut, hoping to see him weave his magic on the pitch. But when he finally stepped onto the field, he's not the same player they remember. Özil's debut with Istanbul Başakşehir was like a dream come true for his fans. They had waited for this moment with bated breath, but unfortunately, it could not have gone any worse. As a substitute, he could barely make an impact, and his performance was far from impressive. As the season progressed, Özil suffered injury after injury, which had limited his playing time to only a handful of appearances. It was upsetting to see once a talented player lose his magic and be sidelined week in, week out. Despite his best efforts, his body just couldn't keep up with the demands of professional football. And then, on the 22nd of March 2023, the news broke that Özil had retired from professional football. It was a shocking announcement, but one that many had seen coming for quite some time now. It's upsetting to think what could have been for Mesut Ozil. At only 24 years old, his downfall arguably began, robbing him of the opportunity to become the best playmaker in the world. But while Ozil's story is full of ups and downs, there's no doubt that Arsenal's future is looking bright. So let's shift our focus to the exciting possibilities ahead for the club. In this video, we'll explore how and why Arsenal will win the Premier League in 2023. From their impressive talent to the genius tactics of Mikel Arteta, we look at Arsenal's rebuild and their future. So click the video on your screen now and join us for an in-depth look at the club's journey to the top. See you there.